This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Hawke's Bay, your community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.
Hi, Gail here, life coaching with Gail, psychic, intuitive, spiritual aspects of our lives that we sometimes don't think of, don't recognise, perhaps not are really in touch with because our day is full, our life is full, everything takes precedence. But your intuition will always kick in when you're not sure what you're going to do. And if you don't have anything planned in your day, your intuition might turn into something like, oh, actually, I might go and do this today because I've got time. And that's the exact right same thing that you need to do. You might meet someone. You might get just a little bit of joy out of what you're doing. You might discover something. Our lives really are around discovery and discovering things we didn't know, but discovering things that can help us in our everyday, with our problems, with finding solutions around things as well. You are with Radio Hawke's Bay. This is your community radio. There are many on Radio Hawke's Bay, and we invite more of you to come in and share your not even your gifts and your talents and your skills. Just share a little bit of you, what you know, what you've experienced in life, what you enjoy about life, what you've found to be enlightening about life, just anything. We invite you to come in and do a program. Everyone's wonderful here. They will help in every way possible to make it just the easiest thing. And the challenge is, if you've never done anything that's kind of a little bit like this, being on radio, then hey, give it a go. Have a bucket list of doing things that you've not actually done before. And this is an easy one. This is one you can do. It's not going to cost you a fortune. It's simple. It's easy. It's a way to be heard, especially if in your life you have felt very unheard, very undervalued. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. I'm offering you this kind of like challenge, if you like, this month in particular, because November is all about you. You. It is not about other people. You can help other people like you always do. Do your work like you always do. But this is the month when you actually bring your focus back to the person doing everything, to the person thinking thoughts. What is that person you saying to yourself? Are you saying, hey, this is great, my life's great, I'm enjoying everything I do? Great. If that is you, that is brilliant, that is perfect. That means you're taking care of yourself as well. If though you are finding, just missing something in your life, or if you're finding that your job's just too much of this or too little of this, or just not really nurturing you, supporting you, encouraging you, motivating you. If your job is just stress, kind of look at what you actually need that you're missing out on. There are ways you can do that. You can give it to yourself during the day in many little, small ways. They might seem insignificant, but if you go, hey, this is for me, this works for me, I'm doing this because I feel like a little bit of fun or a little bit of enjoyment or just a little bit of, I don't know, doing something I wouldn't normally do. If you do that in your day, you're actually, and if you do it kind of every day, then you're actually helping yourself become whole. You're helping yourself feel whole. You're helping yourself actually discover and find the things that you're missing in your life. Please avoid just going along in your life and doing the things that you have to do just to make ends meet. Do those but then do other things that you know are just for you. Look, it can be simple. I've said this all along. Life really is simple. I have this motto, and it's, for me, this was given to me over 10 years ago when I was flying to Perth, and I was tired from life. I'd been tired from my work. My health had gone down. I was tired to do everything in my life, and these words came to me, and it's like, yeah, this is what I want for my life. I want it to be easy, effortless, efficient, simple, and effective. And those words just came to me, and I thought, yes, that's exactly right. And I wrote the letters on a Sudoku that I was doing. And it went E-E-E-S-E, which is easy. So I thought that was kind of funny, found humour in that. I find humour in like the really little things. And I thought that is actually how I truly feel and believe life can be. And so no more of the pushing, fighting, stressing, struggling, worrying. I did that all my life up until then. And I'm not saying you can switch it off. What I'm saying is that when you find yourself worrying or stressing, that you go, stop. What can I do right in this minute? And if there is something you can do, do it. If there is something that you're thinking, what if this happens? What if that happens? You can't do that. You just have to stop, because you don't know until this other thing has happened. There is this point too where it is really useful if you have some kind of belief in a greater creator energy. And there is a greater creator energy. I mean, women create babies. They create human beings. But how? That's the most complicated, complex, sophisticated creation that there is. And yet it happens. Do we realize it as such a creation? I don't know. I do. It's magic. Once a child is born, you hold that baby, that brand new baby in your arms, and you see the miracle. You see the absolute creation. You see everything in that moment. You might not be able to specifically kind of outline it, but you see it. So this month, honour you. This is November. This is, you must honour yourself. If you are feeling like, I just don't want to see anyone, I just don't want to do anything, you are putting yourself first. If you allow yourself to do that. You are, if you are not putting yourself first, you might find that you have to have a couple of days off, or that a situation arises where you need to focus more on one thing in your life because it needs addressing, but it's important to you. And that will be presented to you. Those things come to you because this month you cannot escape you. You can try, but at some point, in a little way or a big way, you are going to have to recognize that you are, that you matter, you count, you're an individual, you need these things, and you need to pay attention to what those things are this month for you. It is not your fault, it's not your doing, it just is the way it is, that November is the month of you. And if you can appreciate yourself, your skills, your abilities, if you do something, you will shine at it. People will say, wow, didn't know you could do that. Good job. Well done. And you will feel like you matter or count in some way. If you hide yourself, I know it's easy to do that. It's very easy, actually. It's a little bit of an escape, to be honest. If you hide yourself, there'll still be the little things that happen that you'll have to attend to yourself, that you'll have to acknowledge yourself and say, hey, I could do this. I did this. I managed to get this done. So we don't want to kind of go too much on to this, but I will say it is your month. It is the you month that ever there will be this year for you. And it's difficult, I know, to say, it's like, oh yeah, right, I've got to go get presents for da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I've got to go to this function, I've got to do this. Do it in a way where it's like, okay, so I'm going to get something out of this. If I am buying a present for this person, that's going to make me feel good. If I go to this function, I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to say wonderful things. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be the best version of myself, even if I don't want to be there. That's how you honour yourself, by the way, because you really are a better version of how people perceive. You're a better version of how you perceive yourself. But honouring yourself, honouring your natural abilities and skills, and you've got abilities and skills, everybody does. So, honour you and see how people react to you. Put yourself first instead of last. Go, actually, yes, I'd like that too. If you're a manifester, if you do law of attraction, and I invite you to learn about that if you don't, if you have an understanding that when you kind of put a thought out there that then something happens and it's like, oh, cool, or it's just a natural thing that happens for you, understand that that is possible at any moment, at any given time. Thin air is the creative energy. Creator identities are in every culture. And my whole life, I have referred to, asked questions of, it was God, whatever the name label, it doesn't matter. It can just be ask thin air for what you need for yourself. This is the month where you go, okay, this is my list of things that I want to have in my life for myself that support me, nurture me, include me, help me bring out the best me there is, and help me kind of develop my skills a little bit better. Write that list and just go, okay, usually kind of like, prayer is always eyes together and upward. Meditation is very similar, the same. They both measure the same frequency. A desire and a wish that you have measures the same also when it is fervently said with feeling and meaning of self. Give it a go. I deserve. And even if you think it's an impossible, just, I deserve. You deserve this month. You deserve everything that you could ever wish, dream for. And this month is the month to put that out there. So just put it out there and see what happens. Nothing is too big. Nothing is too small. And what I would say to you is the small things, this is where I get my joy from life. It's when the small things happen, and they happen often, and I get a little giggle. It's like that. What I was saying to you before about that easy, effortless, efficient, simple, and effective. Easy. When I'm thinking about life being easy and things needing to be easy, that gave me a real giggle, because it was so true. And this is the thing. What you get is what you've put out there for. And I'm sorry, nobody asked for a cyclone. We did ask for change, and the cyclone was the product. So I'm going to have a little look, going back a little bit in a different direction. We had, at the beginning of the month, we had the cards for the month. I do tarot readings and individual tarot readings that help you resolve situations as well in your life. I use my clairvoyant abilities to see where that situation arose from. Sometimes it's from your ancestral line. I prefer to say past life, but I can see that movie of that past life situation that explains to you what's going on now in your life and your situation. I don't need to know about that. I just see the past life, and it kind of resolves things once it's been seen and received by you. Things start to work out and to resolve. So, and if you would like to have a session with me, a tarot reading or just a clairvoyant reading or just a life coaching reading, my phone number is 027 4166 545. So that's 027 4166 545. And if you would like to have a little taste, a little mini reading, this weekend there is a fete at Rudolf Steiner, and we will be there. I will be there with a lovely lady who has been learning, who is gifted. And yeah, so that would just be a little intro. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, we do have the cards at the beginning of the month. My memory, I do not remember those things, but you could probably find the last radio session on podcast with Radio Hawke's Bay. So if you're interested, you could have a look at that. Now I'm using the cards now, and I will shuffle. Anyone who's worried about tarot cards, I just need to let you understand they're the exact same cards we use today to play card games. So there's just more of them in the deck that I have of the tarot. And everything has just a label and just a name, and it can have other labels and other names. So these are just cards that I use that can actually help give a little bit of information and guidance for you that I'm talking to about your month. We've got 2 weeks more to go in November, and it suggests that there is a need to be patient this month with other people, patience with things that are still in process, and we're talking about going way back. We're going way back to the beginning of the year where the cyclone was, and things have been processing, but maybe now it's getting to the point where you're just feeling a little bit over it, a little bit impatient about things moving. This says and reassures you the wheels are in motion. Just got to wait a little bit longer. What you have lost, you will gain other things that are of great benefit to you in the process of your loss. You will recognize later what it's given you in place of how it's helped you. So we also have that this month, sometimes we're afraid of ourselves. We're afraid of what we're capable of doing. We're afraid of if we do something, people might think of us this way or that way. And seriously, none of that matters. If you were in the last weeks of your life, for instance, would you be worrying about what other people thought? Or would you just be going, actually, I'm going to do this? November's a bit like that. So this says, face your fears, situations that are uncomfortable to you, face them full on. Simply do it, and you will see that some of it you imagined. It's not as scary as you think. It's not as difficult as you think. So it is about facing your fears a little bit. Lots of things going on this month as well for you, because there's some of you are feeling sort of stuck in your life, not able really to do what it is that you want to do or you genuinely feel that you'd like to do. They could be obligations that you have to other people. They could be roles. They could be obligations of money and everything else. This just says, for the you of you that are listening to this, you can remove some of those restrictions in your life. This says it's not going to be easy, but you can actually free yourself with a bit of patience, a little bit of bravery, a little bit of want to power. You can free yourself of anything that's holding you back. So anything you've been doing that is been because it's helped you, you've enjoyed it, but now it's kind of maybe not working so well for you, maybe alcohol and it's like your body's not liking it as much as it did, or the coffee because you're not sleeping, or you're having weird dreams. There's just a lot of different components of what holds you back. So look at those things. What could be in your life that's holding you back? Sometimes you're holding yourself back from doing what you want to do just because you feel that's expected. Come on, you're an individual. You're here to live your life. This is your life path. You have a life path, and that's an important one. If you are not living your life path, you will be miserable. You will feel unsatisfied. If you are feeling any of those things, I can always help you know what your life path is, and I can always help you introduce things into your life or release things in your life that will help you to live your life again, to be alive. We've got to be alive, people. We've got to feel that there's something in life for us. And this is the month that you'll have that pressure if you're not counting yourself into your life properly. Okay? So we just have a little look and see if there's anything else that... So it's not certain 100%. What I've got is that there are opportunities around you that you may not be able to see right now. They might not just be presented to you. It's like if somebody wants you to do something and you think, well, actually, that's about the 100th time and I'm just not feeling it right now. Just think about it a little more, because there could be something more this time that actually gives you something or leads to something else. Just keep that in mind. Or something else. We've got a couple who've just spread out. So anything that's not working in your life at the moment, anything that seems to be at a standstill, particularly anything that's like, I've tried this before and it hasn't worked. All I will say to you is it just wasn't the right time, or it isn't the right time. But this definitely says keep looking at doing that again in the future, or keep trying. Setbacks aren't stop signs. Setbacks are take a step back, reassess, introduce something else, step forward again. Please aim for less pressure, take on less responsibility for having to fix the world and everybody in it. It says that that's possible this month as well. Again, you are important this month. It's all about you. It has to be all about you. And if you haven't done it in the first 2 weeks, go for gold. Make it as much about you as you can. It doesn't mean ignoring people around you. It means looking after people around you, which looks after you. But look after yourself in the way that you would like others to look after you. And that can work. And I'm really, really apologetic at the minute, because if this sounds a little preachy, I am sorry. I can come across that way sometimes. It's not intended or meant at all. It is just what comes out of my mouth, unfortunately. But I would just say, If you are someone who has never thought there was any help for you, that you are alone in the world, you are not. You never are. There's always that thin air, if you know what I mean. Air keeps us alive, but there's always this wealth of information out there. We know that internet exists now, but before internet, there was always someone wanting to know something, that an idea would come to them, and then they would invent something, and then everybody would have access to it. There is something beyond you. You are not alone. You may feel it in your human form. You are not alone in a mind-reaching kind of consciousness form. And if you reach out in your mind for what it is you want, it will come to you. And it may come to you in a way you do not expect. It may come to you later than you want it to, but it will come. So careful what you want for yourself. Think good thoughts for yourself. And on that note, have an awesome rest of November, and I will see you at the beginning of December, the busy month. This has been Radio Hawke's Bay. I'm Gail. My phone number is 027 4166 545. Namaste.
This program was produced by and first broadcast on Radio Hawke's Bay, your community access media station. Thanks to New Zealand On Air for making this type of programming possible.